Hey, did you see Cummins India's latest announcement? Looks like they had their board meeting.
Oh, yeah, I saw that come through Cummins India, right? They're the ones making engines and power generation equipment, mostly under the Cummins brand, right?
Exactly. They've got a pretty big presence here in India, plus a few subsidiaries like Cummins Sales and Service and joint ventures like with Valvoline.
Right. So, what's the scoop from the meeting? Give me the highlights.
Well, they approved the unaudited financial results and, get this, declared an interim dividend of 18 rupees per share.
18 rupees. That's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, for each share.
Yeah, at a rate of 900% on shares with a face value of 2 rupees. The record date to be eligible for the dividend is February 14th, 2025, and it'll be paid out by March 3rd, 2025.
Okay. So, if you want that dividend, you need to own the stock by February 14th. Got it. What else did they talk about?
They also made some amendments to their Code of Fair Disclosures, basically updating their insider trading policies to comply with SEBI regulations.
Smart move. Staying compliant is always key. So, financially, how did they do?
Overall, pretty solid. In the consolidated results, their revenue from operations for the quarter ended December 31st, 2024 was 3,052.15 crore rupees. Total income hit 3,207.54 crore rupees.
Nice. How does that compare to last year?
Well, for the quarter ended December 31st, 2023, their revenue from operations was 2,509.79 crore rupees. So it's definitely an increase year on year. Total income back then was 2,640.77 crore rupees.
Disclaimer: we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
Seems like they're on an upward trend then. Any idea how the different segments perform?
Yeah, they break it down into engines and loops. Engines brought in 3,052.15 crore rupees in sales for the quarter, while loops, through their Valvoline Cummins joint venture, had 531.83 crore rupees in sales.
Okay, so engines are still the main driver there. Anything on the expense side?
Total expenses for the quarter were 2,550.88 crore rupees, leading to a profit before exceptional items and tax of 656.66 crore rupees.
And what about those exceptional items? What were those?
Those refer to expenses from their voluntary retirement and separation programs, about 1.70 crore rupees. They had those expenses in the previous year too.
Gotcha. So it's a one-time thing that affected the profit a bit. How's their balance sheet looking? Any red flags there?
Nothing immediately jumps out from this report, but without the full balance sheet, it's hard to say definitively. The auditor's review didn't raise any major concerns, though.
Good to know they got a thumbs up from Pricewaterhouse and Co. What about cash flow? Are they swimming in it or just keeping their heads above water?
Again, this announcement doesn't go into cash flow details, but considering they declared a pretty substantial dividend, they seem to be generating decent cash. Remember that the record date is February 14th, 2025, and payment will be made by March 3rd, 2025.
True, gotta have cash to splash, right? What about key ratios? Anything interesting there?
Earnings per share, both basic and diluted, for the quarter stood at 18.54 rupees. I'd want to compare that to previous periods and industry averages to see how they stack up.
Yeah, EPS is always a good indicator. So overall, what's your take on Cummins India right now?
Well, based on this announcement, they seem to be performing well with solid revenue growth and profitability. The dividend is a nice perk for investors, but the record date is February 14th, 2025, and payment by March 3rd, 2025. So keep that in mind.
Right. Timing is everything. Now, let's move on to future outlook.
It's hard to say without management guidance, but I would keep an eye on how they manage expenses and navigate any changes in the regulatory landscape.
Sounds like solid advice. What's your final verdict? Should people be jumping on the Cummins India bandwagon?
From just this report, they look promising, but always do your own due diligence.
Great point. Hey, if you're enjoying this discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more financial analysis.
So, to sum it up, Cummins India had a good quarter declared a nice dividend. Remember, record date February 14th, 2025, payout by March 3rd, 2025, and seems to be on a steady track.
All right, thanks for the breakdown. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Just remember to stay informed, do your research, and invest wisely.
Absolutely. That's a wrap for today's analysis of Cummins India.